wooden bird. Our story begins with a Jewish man in Tel Aviv opening his door to a Ukrainian refugee. The year is 2023. As the Jewish man opens the door, both men look at each other, shake hands, and then the Ukrainian man shows the Jewish man an old carved wooden bird. The Jewish man smiles again, then invites the Ukrainian man inside his home. Now, as the scene shifts from 2023 to the 1940s, we focus on the Kovalenko family, a Ukrainian family of four: father, mother, daughter, and son. They are a small farming family and had a few animals to sustain their lifestyle. They lived in a small village outside of Kyiv. Inside their home in the attic, we find the Levy family, a Jewish family, also a family of four: a father, mother, son, and daughter. Here we see the Kovalenkos risk everything to hide the Levys in their attic as the Nazi occupation begins in the Ukrainian village. The Kovalenkos risk everything because the Nazi warned that anyone helping or hiding Jewish people will be arrested. The Kovalenkos knew that what they were doing was the right thing. Helping a family or stranger was more important than the propaganda that Nazis were trying to spread about the Jewish people during the 1940s. The Levys hid there for 18 months. In the hands of one of the Levy family members was a carved wooden bird that had been passed down through various decades and was a family heirloom. During those dark times, the family survived on bread and water in the attic. Every now and then, the Kovalenkos would share their hot soup and tried to make the Levys feel as comfortable as possible. Because of unannounced inspections from time to time during those early days of the occupation, the Kovalenkos had to be very careful not to show the Nazis that they had more than they needed to survive. The Levys had to be very quiet during those inspections because they knew that being discovered would not only endanger them but put the Kovalenkos in serious trouble as well. To make matters worse, the Nazis took a lot of their resources and barely left them with enough to survive. By God's grace, they had enough to survive this terrible situation and still help others in need. As one of the Nazi soldiers shut the door after another unexpected inspection, the Kovalenkos breathe a sigh of relief as they look upward as to thank God for surviving another day. Now, as the scene shifts back to 2023, the Jewish man is holding the carved wooden bird. The Jewish man thanks the Ukrainian man for what his family did decades ago to save this family. He hands the carved wooden bird to the Ukrainian man. He then welcomes him into his home as a place of refuge from the Ukrainian-Russian conflict. Through the silence of decades and passage of time, this simple act of kindness transitions war into peace, hate into love, and malice into kindness. Long after the Nazi defeat, the Levys immigrated to Haifa and later to Tel Aviv-Yafo in Israel. Here they welcomed Ukrainian refugees who wanted to escape the ongoing conflict with Russia in the Ukraine. The grandchildren of the Levy family came across an old diary, and the family name of Kovalenkos was written there with a brief history of what their family risked to help the Levys survive in the 1940s. The Levys see the news in 2022 of the invasion of Ukraine. The grandson of the hidden Jewish Levy family tracks down the great-granddaughter of the Kovalenkos via social media. He organizes her transport, provides a safe house, and meets her at the border. Later, the Kovalenkos meet the Levys in Tel Aviv. Now, the Levys provide not just an attic, but their entire home as comfort to the Kovalenkos as they share stories from history about endurance, sacrifice, kindness, and love. These and their courage help families for both sides of the spectrum survive, thrive, and continue their family names against improbable, nearly impossible odds, then and today. Here are a few other examples of triumphs of love over hate and the transition over time. The relationship between Ukrainians and Jews spans centuries of complex, often painful history, featuring both tragic collaboration in the Holocaust and remarkable instances of bravery. Alongside modern solidarity, Ukrainians helping Jews in the 1940s. Despite the widespread, brutal killing of Ukrainian Jews by the Nazis and local auxiliaries, thousands of Ukrainians risked and often sacrificed their lives to save their Jewish neighbors. As of December 2024, Yad Vashem has recognized 2,673 individuals from Ukraine as righteous among the nations, the fourth highest number in the world. Individuals and sometimes entire families hid Jews in attics, cellars, barns, and underground bunkers for months or years. One example was Katerina Sheremeta and her father, Petro Olnitsky, in the Ivano-Frankivsk region, saved 16 Jews by hiding them in a forest bunker and bringing them food. Another example, Yuhim and Anna Kibukevich were honored for hiding a Jewish mother and son in their home. Another way Ukrainians helped Jewish people was by providing false identity papers and identification, which helped forge Aryan papers, enabling Jews to pass as non-Jewish and travel or work. Other heroic actions worth noting were rescuing children from death marches. Some individuals snatched children from columns, headed to places like Babyn Yar, and hid them in orphanages. Babyn Yar is a ravine in the capital city of Kyiv, Ukraine, and a major site of Nazi massacres during World War II. Historical fact: on September 29, 1941, German forces murdered 771 Jews there, making it one of the largest single-event massacres of the Holocaust. Overall, an estimated 100,000 to 150,000 people were murdered there. On a brighter note, Alexandra Shuleshko saved 25 children, including Jewish children, in her orphanage in Cherkasy. Another noteworthy fact of bravery and hope: in some cases, Ukrainians entered into fictitious marriages with Jews to provide them with legal protection under Nazi occupation. By God's grace, Metropolitan Andrei Sheptitsky of the Ukrainian Greek Catholic Church was instrumental in instructing his clergy to shelter Jews, including harboring them in monasteries and his own residence. Jews helping Ukrainians today, 2022 to 2026. Following the 2022 Russian invasion of Ukraine, Jewish organizations in Ukraine, Israel, and worldwide have provided substantial humanitarian aid and support to the Ukrainian population, both to the Jewish community and frequently to the general public. Evacuation and Humanitarian Aid, JDC. The American Jewish Joint Distribution Committee, JDC, has been operating across 388 locations in Ukraine, supporting nearly 38,000 Jews with food, medicine, winter survival kits, and home care. Refugee support, World Jewish Relief. WJR has supported over 377,000 people since the war began, offering, among other initiatives, vocational training and English language support for Ukrainian refugees in the UK. Israeli humanitarian aid. Israel was the first country to establish a field hospital, Kochav Meir, in Ukraine, providing medical treatment to thousands of civilians. Israel has also sent hundreds of tons of emergency aid, including generators, tents, and water purification systems. Medical and psychological care, United Hatzalah. Israeli teams, such as United Hatzalah, established operations at border crossings, for example, Moldova, to provide immediate medical, psychological, and logistical assistance to refugees. Supporting Holocaust survivors. Jewish organizations have specifically focused on evacuating elderly Holocaust survivors from active war zones to safe havens in Germany and Israel, providing them with specialized medical care. Israel has supplied Ukraine with an advanced AI-based early warning system to detect incoming missiles and drones, designed to provide faster, more precise alerts to civilians. We now see what a mess the devil has made of this world. God is showing us that under the devil's control, the world is getting worse and has been since he took it from Adam and Eve in the beginning. However, God is in control, and these stories of light and hope shows us that good still triumphs over evil in the end. God will step in one day and all these things will be corrected, and God will make all things new again. We just must trust Him and believe in His word. Revelation 21, 1-5, Isaiah 65:17, 2 Corinthians 5:17, and Isaiah 4:3-19, just to name a few. These verses highlight God's promise to reverse the effects of sin, bringing about a new, restored, and perfect reality. Amen.